scheduled for 8:25 in the morning. You know, a lot of people, Christmas break already. You know,
Exactly.
I don't know about you if you had to face the 20 mile per hour. You know what I mean? The school zone this morning? No,
Oh, yeah.
You did?
I feel, well, not this morning, but I'm just saying just in general.
Yeah.
I face it usually every morning.
I'm just saying, a lot of offices not going into work, a lot of schools not showing up. Not here, baby.
No.
Bright and early. We even have Mike stepping in today to produce. You know, I've heard some people talk about, you know, bosses and stuff like that, and they say something like, you know, if my boss wouldn't do it, then why would I do it?
Exactly.
Look no further. Mike waking up at the crack of dawn and producing this morning's Talkin Slab. You love to see that this morning. Matty Ice, how you feeling, man? I don't know how you're here.
Dude, yesterday was a lot of fun. Ran dollar auctions all day.
What were we running an auction on, by the way, just for the people waking up today?
Little 2024 Bowman draft.
Half case?
No, just we were running 1, 2, 3 boxes at a time and run them at $1, baby.
There you go. Let it fly. Wherever it lands, it lands.
Oh, exactly.
So, I mean, look, we will talk about the Bills in a moment. That must have been a little bit of a scare for you yesterday. But also, before we get there, you know, I thought our season of giving was over. Last week, we were giving away 2024 Topps Holiday Megas. But if you are just waking up with us, we are going to be giving away a Topps Chrome logo fractor at 8 in the morning today. So, you know, we were talking about stocking stuffers of those Topps Holiday Megas.
That'll be one.
It's a little more than a stocking stuffer, I think. This is a full under the tree right here, a little logo fractor. Not too shabby. So, guys, if you're just waking up, stick around 8 in the morning, 8 Eastern time, as you could assume. We're going to be giving away that Topps Chrome logo fractor. Matty Ice, I know you were working this weekend. I did not get a chance to see. I heard there were a couple big hits. Any highlights you have for me here?
We hit a Luis Castillo 101 book.
Damn!
Like laundry tag booklet yesterday for
Out of Triple Threads?
What'd you say?
Out of Triple Threads?
Yes, out of Triple Threads.
Triple Threads has been very nice to us.
It's a lot of fun. It's a very pretty product. I mean, the patches on that were just disgusting. It was a 101.
And I'm trying to see, by the way, I know we've been saying we're doing a Toys for Tots donation over here.
Yes.
I'm looking, Mike, you can confirm 3,448. Is that the current number we've gotten up to in donation so far to Toys for Tots? Yeah, from what I've been able to see per Discord last night, I'm seeing the last number was $3,448 so far donated to Toys for Tots from us here at Suncoast Sports. That's not ending, by the way, guys. As far as I'm concerned, Rob Cox, Rob, appreciate that very much. You know, it's what we're doing, and you know what? I wonder if you'd be saying that if we were not giving away a Topps Chrome logo fractor at 8 in the morning. Nonetheless, Rob, appreciate the kind words here. Looking to kick into the holiday season the right way. But yeah, around $3,500 donated to Toys for Tots. And guys, for every break that fills, we're going to keep running this from now until Christmas. We will be donating another $100. And then for every personal that's purchased, we will be donating another $50 to Toys for Tots. So, you know, look, I know you wanted to hop into these breaks anyway. A lot of news in the MLB. We're going to get to that a little bit later in the show.
Crazy.
But, of course, we got to start looking back at a wild weekend of football. Appreciate it.
Did you have any fantasy football
I was out,
this
man.
weekend?
I was out, dude. I made the playoffs round 1, and the guy against me put up 170. You just got to tip your cap and eat your lumps. What about you? You seem mournful.
We're in the Christmas spirit, right? So if there was, like, my fantasy was described by 2 Christmas movies, it was A Christmas Miracle and then turned into The Grinch That Stole Christmas real quick.
So wait, 2 different games, or was it just a flip-flop?
It was just the same exact fantasy league. It was
Quickly explain. What do we got?
So I was up, I was about to lose by 20 points.
Okay.
Devon A-Chan scores a 60-yard rushing touchdown to put me up, and this makes it so I'm favored by 7%.
And by the way, I feel like a lot of guys would have just slid down at the 1 yard line too.
Exactly. So the fact that he went in the end zone was crazy. And then I had to go against Baker Mayfield and Jalen McMillan, who, might I add, Jalen McMillan had 3 points in the first half until the final drive of the first half.
That last
and scored
minute.
A touchdown. And then in the final minute of the game, that's what
2
lost
toe
me.
tap, catches to the sidelines right there.
And that is what lost me my fantasy
Matty
week.
Ice.
Oh, that hurt.
It's
I lost
a
by 4
fickle
points.
game. The fantasy gods give it. The fantasy gods take it.
They take it.
But look, we'll put fantasy to the side. You got to brush it off. There's only one winner in every league.
Next year, baby.
Looking back on a wild weekend of football. First things first.
Yes.
Great weekend of football. Great weekend of NFL football. All right, let me say that for starters. I was talking to Mike a little bit when I got in here. If you took away the records, I think, from a lot of these teams, this was amazing. The Patriots were putting up a great fight. That Jaguars-Raiders game was even pretty decent.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else there was from, that Dolphins 49ers game was pretty entertaining. Panthers Cardinals
That was a good game as well.
Fantastic matchup. Vikings Seahawks. And of course, Buttersworth. Good morning, Buttersworth. It never gets old. By the way, Ted is a Christmas movie. I'm kidding. The opening scene starts on Christmas, but that's what got me thinking. Buttersworth with a Ted reference every morning. And of course, that Eagles-Commanders game, which, no surprise here.
Game of the week.
Is where I do want to start things when we look back at this weekend of NFL. There's a reason I am wearing the basketball team today, even though they're not doing, it's like my second coziest item of clothing. It's cold out. I was like, dude, Eagles lost. I just need to be cozy today.
It's just that kind of a day, man.
Just that kind of day. I want to ask everyone watching here, because you know me, biased Eagles fan, and Matty Ice, of course, as well. Tough loss for the Eagles. They lose 36-33, I believe was the final score. Simple question for you. Do you look at the Eagles differently after this loss to the Commanders? I've come in here some days, puffed my chest out, said they're the best team in the NFC.
No, I don't think I do. I think they're still one of the best. I think they're still the best team in the NFC. I think that the Commanders played a heck of a game. Sometimes you just have to tip your cap and just be like, hey, you played an outstanding game. For example, I'll say it with the Bills comparison. Bills, Chiefs beat us. We had a shootout. I mean, you tip your cap. I think that's where that situation.
Yeah.
Jane Daniels had an amazing game. He had 5 touchdowns, 5 total touchdowns.
5 touchdowns,
which is crazy.
I think 5 passing touchdowns too.
So I mean,
dang, yeah, you put it like that.
McLaurin had a great game as well. I mean, he just constantly seemed to be open.
Quinyon Mitchell got burned for the first time in his NFL career, but you know what? In Week 16, I think you'll take that. But you're right. You're right. Terry McLaurin did a good game.
And here's another point too. That game was away, and with the resurgence of that organization. Mm-hmm. That's a tough place to play.
Yeah,
that's a tough place to play.
There was a lot of green. There was a lot of green in that game. But you are right. You know, it's never easy to win on the road in the NFL. I'm surprised, Matty Ice. Now, and I appreciate you for saying that.
There's hope, Josh. There's hope, baby.
Yeah, no, because I don't know. I feel like a lot of people out there, and I don't know you being a Bills fan and how other people feel, but a lot of people out there I feel like have been preying on the Eagles' downfall. And I understand, you know, Nick Sirianni's rubs people the wrong way. I think the tush push rubs people the wrong way. It rubs me the wrong way at some points. But I totally agree. You know, I felt like crap after that game. I was texting my buddies, texting my dad, and I was like, we got to accept the loss now.
Yeah.
Like early on in that game, so it doesn't hurt as bad. I felt pain in my chest for hours last night until I went to bed. It just, that loss stung.
Yeah.
But I do think ultimately, it really didn't need much. To me, it was very obvious. If Jalen Hurts does not get knocked out of that game, they win. You know,
interesting. Okay, I was going to say, here's the thing I'm looking at A.J. Brown. I mean, he had 97 yards and a touchdown.
97 yards and a touchdown and probably 100 yards of defensive pass interference.
Does he want Jalen Hurts back?
Dude, A.J. Brown actually had a comment after the game.
He had to have.
Like, he was saying how, like, in a way, it was good for us. It was good to see Kenny Pickett has the confidence now. And he said something like, God forbid something happens to Jalen or something like that. I'm like,
gives a little wink. And
yeah,
that's crazy.
Like, brother,
that's
are you praying on your other guy's downfall? No, I'm not trying to pull a Philly radio here and try to stir something up where there's nothing. But ultimately, Matt, I mean, I think, like you said, you tip your cap to the Commanders. I will say this, though. It made me appreciate Jalen Hurts a ton more.
I didn't think Pickett looked bad, though.
Pickett looked good.
He looked good.
But what you saw with this Eagles team is a I don't want to say it was bad play calling, right?
Okay.
But what you saw was an entire dimension of the offense taken away. I almost called them the Redskins. The Commanders were putting like 7, 8 guys in the box, and you saw New York Giants, Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley yesterday, where all of a sudden, when you take the threat of Jalen Hurts out of the game, he just did not look like the same guy. Yeah. Buttersworth said Eagles needed that loss because their heads were getting big, and they was not humble. I would say they were not humble. That loss woke them up. I do think it's an interesting point, Buttersworth. And now let me ask you this, though. And this will, we can kind of move on from this Eagles game because I think we're all on the same page. Do you think we see Jalen Hurts next week? I do think that is the interesting question that comes into the play. I believe, I'll double check this. I do think they have the Cowboys next week, which is they do have the Cowboys next week. Yeah. So I do wonder if you see Jalen Hurts play next week or if you let Kenny Pickett trot it out.
You guys clinched your division already, right?
No, did not clinch the division with that. It's simple as Eagles-Commanders, right?
Yeah, so I It's over.
But
who is the tiebreaker? Because you guys are going to be tied if you guys both win out.
I couldn't tell you. I think... No, we would not be tied if we both win out. The Eagles are up 2 games on them. You're saying the
There's two
Eagles
games,
lose
yeah.
out. The Eagles lose
Yes,
out and the
yes,
Commanders
yes,
win
yes,
out.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Look, here's the deal, Matt. The Eagles have the Giants on the schedule.
Oh, all right, never mind. So yes, I would rest Jalen
you know, you could
Yeah.
play quarterback, Colin could play running back, and I could play center, and we
Listen,
would have a good
let's
chance
rock and
against
roll,
the
baby. Put
Giants.
us out there.
You know, so
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm with Buttersworth. You sit him next week. Abundance of caution.
I agree.
Give Kenny Pickett a full week, and the Cowboys, dude. They're playing tough. They're not the kind of team that I would want to put a concussed Jalen Hurts up against next week.
No.
A little more on the Cowboys later, but hopes the one seed are gone. Fun fact, Eagles are the second team this season to lose a game after getting 5 takeaways. The other, the Houston Texans against the Detroit Lions, when the Lions threw 5 interceptions.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
To me, that felt like a game where, once Hurts was out, there was just like a dam. Right? And the water was just pushing up against the dam and pushing up against the dam. And in the fourth quarter, the floodgates open. Dude, Jaden Daniels is the truth. I tell you what.
Oh, yeah.
There was a 4th and 5 where it looked like they were stopped. There was a 4th and 11 that just Jaden Daniels put the moves on. Little Chris Berman style.
Did you see like his reaction at the end of the game, just to winning the game? He just seemed so calm, so cool, collected. Like he just seemed like he's been there, and like the job literally is not finished.
They're
like,
going to be dangerous. They're going to be dangerous.
They're going to be a scary team, man. They're going to be a scary team.
And he's going to be dangerous as a Birds fan. It's going to be dangerous to play that team year in and year out.
What was their record last year again?
Oh, buddy,
It was not
tell
good.
you. I mean, they were a totally different team. 4 or 5 win team. I'll double check. Maybe
You ready
I'm
for this?
wrong.
So Big Dog and I were talking about this. What team this year could be the Commanders team next year?
Carolina Panthers, I would say.
That's what we said too.
Yeah.
Big Dog and I agreed on that.
I almost think that's not fair. I almost feel like the Panthers have been way better this year than the Commanders were last year. But yeah, I would say Carolina.
So what do they need to
Panthers.
get to over that hump, do you think? I think it's a wide
Panthers?
receiver. I think it's a wide receiver and a couple of
without
weapons.
a doubt.
I think that's all. They're a few pieces away.
And we've been talking in the chat over here these last few days too. They've got so much money to play with next season.
Oh my gosh.
T. Higgins, I think we were saying was a good name. Oh, that was the Chargers as well. We were saying T. Higgins is a name floated out there. But yeah, I think Carolina Panthers. Buttersworth says the Chargers. I will say the difference is Chargers, I think, have had that infrastructure for 3 or 4 years. They just haven't been able to reach that ceiling. I think this Panthers team has had a lower floor, so to
100%,
speak.
100%.
And now you're seeing them surge. A little more on the Panthers in just one second.
man.
I did, before we go more to the NFL, let's look back on Saturday, because we did, and Friday, I guess. We did so much talk about the college football playoff. I have gotten so excited. I got a fun nugget for you. Well, not so fun. There's been 34 college football playoff games all time, right? It used to be way less. It used to be 3 college football playoff games every year.
Okay.
Obviously now, I can't do the math. We have more.
We have way more.
So there's been 34 college football playoff games of all time so far. 17 of those 34, so half of every college football playoff game, has been decided by 20 or more points. That does not make for good TV, Matty Ice.
No,
Is there any solution here to what I will call a blowout epidemic in the college football playoff that comes to mind for you?
So right now, the first thing that comes to my head is I love the idea. I love the playoff idea. I'm here for that.
100%.
But they have to find a way, and I don't know that way. Like, for example, maybe Alabama. I don't know how you somehow put in the strength of schedule.
Totally
And
agree.
maybe like a ranking of like the team's strength. Something along the lines of that. Because there's no reason that, I mean, looking back on it, SMU versus Penn State, man. Like, that should have been Alabama. I think
know.
Alabama puts in a better fight than SMU.
I think 1,000 out of 1,000 dentists agree. It's ridiculous.
And so how do you avoid that situation? How do you get that? And it's tough because SMU deserved the right to be there as well. Like throughout the season, they deserved that. They had the right.
I think go ahead. Sorry, finish your point there.
And so another good one is Boise State. Why does Boise State have a bye?
I know.
I don't think they should have a bye.
Well, listen, I think Boise State is actually a much better team than SMU. We'll find out next week. We'll find out very soon. If you remember, Boise State, Oregon had to kick a game-winning field goal as time expired to beat Boise State this season.
Yeah.
So I do think Boise State's a little bit better. But I think, what was the word you used? SMU deserved to be there, right?
Yes.
I don't disagree with that. I think that's the problem, however, with the college football playoff, is you need to stop putting the teams that, quote-unquote, deserve to be there and just put in the teams that are best.
Okay.
And I think there's a big difference between the two. You can make the case Alabama didn't deserve to be there. They lost some big games at the end. South Carolina didn't deserve to be there. They lost some big games early in the season. Ole Miss didn't deserve to be there. They lost some big games in the middle of the season. But ultimately, I think Alabama, Ole Miss, and South Carolina are better than Arizona State. I think they're better than SMU. Heck, I think they're all better than Clemson. So I think a solution potentially looking forward is maybe giving less credence to teams that make the conference championship, teams that win more games, and then airing on the side. And it's not going to be popular. People are
Yeah.
going to be outraged. But I think we've learned from when Cincinnati made the college football playoff a few years ago with Desmond Ridder, I remember.
Yeah.
Whenever we put these teams in because, they deserve it. They didn't lose any big games. They get crushed.
No.
And as a result, I think the product of the playoff is far worse.
Now here, for the expanded college playoffs,
Sure.
this is the first year we've seen it. Now, wasn't part of it, if I'm not mistaken, the part of the expansion because that whole
Florida State thing last year. Yep.
And how they should have been there,
Yeah.
and how they didn't lose a game, and how they deserved to be there as well. But it was unfortunate that Jordan Travis went down with an injury, and he was a superstar for that team.
Sure.
So isn't that kind of like the argument? Isn't that the whole reason that they did it is to give these schools a chance?
Yeah, exactly.
So
maybe they shouldn't have the chance. Maybe they shouldn't have the chance. It's a bad product, man. I was bored. I turned all these games off so early. And shout out to Kurt Signetti for one of the greatest dress-up jobs I've ever seen. That game was 27-3.
Yeah.
Let's be real. That game should have finished 27-3. Now, when you look back at the college football playoff record books and you're Indiana and you say, we made the college football playoff one time, it says 27-17 against Notre Dame, and you say, we put up a good fight.
It's so bad.
You got to give them credit for that.
Yeah, it is. Sheesh.
All right, moving on to my list of burning questions from this past weekend, Matty Ice.
Let's hear it.
It's something that I have been very hesitant to do this whole season. But week after week, this team just comes up big on offense, especially on defense. Minnesota Vikings. Do we have to call the Minnesota Vikings Super Bowl contenders?
See, there's one play yesterday from that game where I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
It is where Sam Darnold, the play before, gets drilled. He looks hurt. Like he gets like Patrick Mahomes happened to him, where he got like finang. He was playing Twister out on the field.
Yeah.
And next play, they're on the 45-yard line going in, and he steps up in the pocket on one leg and throws it to Justin Jefferson in double coverage.
Was that on the touchdown?
That was on the touchdown.
That was beautiful.
That was perfect. Like there's no words. It was artistic. It was beautiful. Like you couldn't put it in a better spot.
I left play.
And I think with that,
yeah. And for that reason you're in?
That was the reason where I was like, okay, it's Sam Darnold. What are we doing here? Like, come on. Like enough is enough. Like, no, I think they're legit. I think Sam Darnold is having an incredible
No, absolutely.
year. And I don't think it's just Jefferson. I mean, Jefferson's a big part in that, but Sam Darnold's legit.
I left that play to Justin Jefferson, and I kind of had one of those moments. I don't know if you guys have these moments or you do too, where it's like I just sat back and I was like, we're so lucky to watch Justin Jefferson. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Coming as an Eagles fan who Justin Jefferson means war flashbacks.
Exactly.
We took Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. I reached the point of peace, and I can just kind of look back and be like, how lucky are we to live in an era where we get to watch Justin Jefferson and this guy here, Jamar Chase, the Camp Rock celebration on the Vikings takeaway to end the game. I'm still not there. I'm not going to call them Super Bowl contenders. I can't do it. I still have the Packers ahead of the Vikings in terms of Super Bowl contention.
Okay.
I will eat crow all the way through the playoffs. I just can't do it, man. I can't get there. I think this was more of a Seahawks getting exposed.
The defense looks good.
The Vikings defense is fantastic. I just don't think defenses win championship these days anymore. I really don't. No, I don't. I think you need.
That's crazy.
I don't think it's enough. I don't believe in Sam Darnold. Right? Like as Sam Darnold as your quarterback is not enough for me. Tip your cap. Good team. Kevin O'Connell's pulling all the strings. Aaron Jones looks good. Justin
Jefferson. Do they have to do?
What, the Vikings?
To get
there's nothing. There's nothing they can do. I've decided there's nothing they can do.
Wow.
They need to win a game in the playoffs. I honestly don't know if they'll win a game in the playoffs.
In the playoffs.
Not even have a beatdown, even just a win in the playoffs. I don't trust them. As of now, looking at the NFC playoff picture, I think I would take any of the wild cards over them right now in the playoffs. And I know that might be hot takey. I just don't think the Vikings have really proven me anything. Like, I think their losses to the Lions, their loss to the Lions is more impressive than their win against the Seahawks. I don't know. I just won't do it. I can't say I'm unimpressed. I just still think it's Eagles, it's the Lions, and it's the Packers.
Lions scared me just because of the injuries.
Me too.
They had a great game yesterday. The fake, whatever it was, the little fake stumble.
I saw something also that showed. So Ben Johnson is a freaking genius because the Green Bay Packers earlier this season actually fell down. Like they genuinely fell down and they got a 50-yard pass out of that. So Ben Johnson saw that play and designed that into his offense.
It's
brilliant.
It really is.
All right, so last of my burning questions here before we kind of get a little goofier today. College football playoff kind of sparked this question for me.
Okay.
Looking at the NFL this season, do you think the 14 best teams will make the NFL playoffs. Not the 14 most deserving teams. Not the 14 teams that have taken care of business and have earned the right. Because as of now, I can't say there's any team that does not deserve to be there in the playoffs. Yeah. But do you think the 14 best teams deserve to make the playoffs?
There's only one that's coming to the top of my head that I think should be in the playoffs.
Give it to me.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes, sir.
It's the Cincinnati Bengals, man. That
100%.
that offense is so good.
I know.
Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase Brown, T. Higgins. I mean, they're just so elite. They're so dynamic. It's so fun to watch. And the fact that they're not going to be in the playoffs.
I know you were ripping yesterday. Did you see some of the plays that Joe Burrow made?
No, I did not.
Oh, my. Like
Incredible.
you know, you think of, we talk about Patrick Mahomes for his ability to make some impossible throws. Joe Burrow was doing a Mahomes impression. Sorry to be Tony Romo here, who, you know, as the kids say, glazing Patrick Mahomes all the time. But excuse me here. Joe Burrow was looking a little Mahomey, in the words of Tony Romo, who's always talking about Mahomes. But seriously, dude, this guy's falling down, flipping it to Higgins, I believe, in the end zone, like making impossible throws left and right. It's just such a shit. And it's not over, by the way. I don't believe it is over. It is not impossible for the Bengals to make the playoffs still. It's a long shot. I don't think they will. I do believe the Broncos need to lose out now, and the Bengals need to win out for the Bengals to make the playoffs. But that was the exact answer I was hoping to hear, was that it's such a shame that we will not see the Bengals making the playoffs. Bengals minus 9.5 was an easy cover. I tried to we were talking about it on Friday. Joe Burrow was cursing out everyone and himself after beating the Titans by 10 last Sunday. You think this guy doesn't care? Even 6-8, 7-8, he's locked in. He's a competitor.
He's ready to roll. He's good. He's good.
All right, so those are my 4 burning, serious questions about the NFL following this weekend of and the college football playoff of big football. Yeah. Now, I kind of wanted to talk about things from more of a card perspective. You know, we're not gonna, we're gonna be ripping a lot of baseball this week. We're gonna have a little less Talkin Slab. We do football right around the corner. No promises yet, but it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. But I know sometimes we don't talk about football from the card standpoint as much.
It's the best talk.
I got 2 big questions about football cards potentially. I'm watching games this weekend. If I wrote you a check, which I would never do. And I said, Matty Ice, it's blank. You can get any slabbed up rookie card you want from the 2023 draft class, the 2024 draft class, or you can look ahead to next year.
Oh, this is good. This is a good question.
Look through door number 3.
How many do I get? 1 or 2? Is it just 1?
You just get 1.
Oh, this is tough.
You just get 1, Matty Ice. What rookie card are you buying and why? And look, I know it'll probably be a quarterback, but I'm just telling you it doesn't have to be a quarterback if you want to get weird.
All right, so obviously, with cards, you want to buy low and then sell high.
Okay.
And right now,
I'm giving you a blank check. I'm giving you a blank check.
Baby, you ready for this?
Okay.
Drake May.
Whoa! Are you kidding me?
No, I'm being serious.
That is not at all what I expected.
Going against the Bills, which is one of the away.
Yeah.
And not have a good wide receiver, he has no weapons.
He's got Hunter Henry.
Nothing. And he's throwing dimes. He looks good, man. He looks really, really good. Wait until they get a wide receiver like Travis Hunter. Or,
buddy.
If they get this guy, ready for this? Tatario McMillan.
Jason's been talking about that guy all year.
You bring Tatario McMillan into New England, that would be a phenomenal team. And you add a couple pieces in the free agency. I'm telling you, that's Drake May. His stock is going to skyrocket. Everyone's on the Jaden Daniels. Okay. Everyone knows he's going to be amazing. He's going to be really, really good. Okay. Give me Drake May. Give me Drake May.
Oh, Suncoast Mike, whoever this is, random viewer in the chat. It's almost like I'm running this today or something. Yeah. Good pick, Matty Ice. Guys, let us know in the chat as well. Who are you taking next year, this year, or last year? All right, I'll give you a second one as well, too. Okay. Let me bounce it off here. How can you not pick Jaden Daniels? You know what I mean? Jaden Daniels, I think, is just
going to be really
the obvious one. Now, it's tempting. There's so many answers I think you could go down here. It's always nervous when you see quarterbacks in their second year after they always take a dip. But, man, Jaden Daniels, 5 touchdowns yesterday. He's the absolute real deal. He's fun to watch. I think you have to go with Jaden Daniels. I'm tempted to say Shadur Sanders. I know a lot of people don't like him. That's kind of why That's why I kind of put 2025 out there. But all right, just fun thought experiment here. Who would your second guy be here?
It would probably be Cam Ward.
Cam Ward?
Yeah.
There you go. Looking ahead to the future.
I think Cam Ward, I gotta keep one of the present. I gotta win the future. Come on, Christmas. You gotta keep it really going here. So. I think Cam Ward is going to be the best quarterback out of that draft class.
Okay.
I think that Shadur's going to be good. Don't get me wrong. I think it's gonna be very similar to Jaden and Caleb right now. Caleb's not bad. Caleb's good.
Caleb
But
will be better long term.
I think Jaden Daniels is gonna have the better.
Oh
career.
no! I mean, then now. I'm saying I'm just not worried about Caleb.
Oh yeah.
My bad. That's
no,
all
I think Caleb is good. I think he's having a good year as well. I mean, he had a great game yesterday. But again, I think Jaden Daniels is. I think 2020 hindsight. If you're the Bears and you're the GM, asking you, who are you taking at number 1? Are you taking Jaden or are you taking Caleb?
Well, am I the
You're
GM?
You're the GM making the draft pick. You are on the clock
Well,
right now.
okay, if I'm the actual Bears GM, I'm saying, no, we got to go with our guy, Caleb Williams. But if I'm Josh Safford being the GM of the Bears, I'm taking
Exactly.
Jaden Daniels any day of the week. Are you kidding me? I'll throw out one more name there watching this Falcons game, Bijan Robinson. I do, and I know we're quarterback-centric, understandably so, but, dude, Bijan Robinson is just crazy. I think you're finally seeing Raheem Morris and the Falcons. I don't know what Arthur Smith was doing. I don't know how many brain cells Arthur Smith has. I really question that. Bijan Robinson is everything he was hyped up to be, and then some. There is really, like, watching this game, it is not rocket science. It's like, just get on the ball. Run HB dive. Like, it's not even anything crazy.
Even with Saquon Barkley, just get him in the rock.
Right.
Just get him the ball. It's shouldn't be difficult.
I think Bijan Robinson is just fantastic. And I know we go quarterback heavy in the hobby here, but I do think Bijan Robinson out of these guys, no disrespect to Jahmyr Gibbs, I think Bijan Robinson is more electric and might profile even better long term there.
Yeah, no, I agree with that one.
All right, one other question about cards for you here. A little something called buy the dip. Which player that's trending downwards right now would you be trying to scoop up in the NFL?
It's a good one. Give me...
You want me to go? Give me some time to think here?
Yeah, you go first. You go first.
I'll go with Malik Neighbors. I think this guy shot out like a cannon this season, and he's just getting beaten around by a dumpster fire of a situation in the Giants. You got to give Daniel Jones some credit, I guess, because I have not heard Malik Neighbors' name, I feel like, in 4 weeks. It used to be Malik Neighbors this, Malik Neighbors that. They went to Germany. There was one fumble in Germany, I want to say.
Oh, yeah.
And ever since then, I have not heard Malik Neighbors' name at all. And I don't think his market is totally tanked. I just feel like if you were buying Malik Neighbors week 4, week 5, you got to kind of be like, ugh. Can I get him at his highest point right now? I think it's trending downward. I would still be getting Malik Neighbors.
Absolutely.
I think he's going to be a stone cold stud.
Yeah.
What do you got, Matty Ice?
Give me AR.
Anthony Richardson.
Give me Anthony Richardson.
Don't hate that.
No, because I think again, sophomore slump. You know, it happens. I think that he's shown the talent. I think obviously it's the accuracy. The accuracy is what needs to work on. But other than that, I mean, he's got the talent. He's got the skills to do it. I think he can do it.
I think with Anthony Richardson, he's a guy who you wonder, does he have it between here? You know, and the reason I say that is when he checked himself out of the game.
That was that's not helping the case.
Between checking himself out of the game and the occasional decision making. I mean, that game was still. What's up, Bob? Any times on? I don't know what he's saying there. Bob, try. Oh, any tips on Malik Neighbors? Is that what you're saying, Bob? Try again. It seemed like you had some morning typo there. I'll try to answer that for you with a rephrased question.
Too, brother.
And guys, I see a couple of new folks hopping in here. 8 a.m. we are going to be giving away a Topps Chrome logo fractor box at 8 in the morning here. We ship it sealed. I'm not sure if it'll get here. We do same day shipping, but you know it's the holidays, so I can't make any promises that it's going to get here by Christmas. But a nice little present under the tree, a fun family, fun time rep. But Bob, feel free to rephrase that question. I'd be happy to try to answer that one. All right, Matty Ice. We do have some fun Christmas topics here. I do want to save them for a little bit, though. Give us some time to think about those. But real quick, the college football playoff, we looked at the bad of it. Wanted to kind of put a pin in it here because we're not going to get to talk, I don't think, for the rest of the week. Until next week for the college football playoff. Was there a winner this weekend that kind of turned your head the most that you said, hey, I wasn't really thinking this team had a good shot. I might be buying into them a little more now.
In the college football, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Notre Dame. I honestly thought that they were going to fold against Indiana. I honestly did. I thought Indiana was going to go in there and make it look like Notre Dame didn't belong there. To be completely honest with you, that defense looks good. That run defense is. I mean, they were supposed to run all over that defense, and Notre Dame made a stand. And so honestly, kudos to them. I mean, I think they have a shot.
And that kid, Jeremiah Love, I believe his name is, 98-yard touchdown. Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like you always see that guy get stopped somewhere. He just kept going and going.
Exactly.
Winner that turned my head, a lot of people just don't want to say it. It's Ohio State. Listen, I understand. Ryan Day is very punchable. Chip Kelly is very punchable.
Yeah.
People don't like Will Howard. I get it. By the way, I just learned he's like from 20 minutes from my hometown. Shout out the Downingtown
really?
West Whippets.
Wow.
There you go. I called a couple of their high school games. I had no idea Will Howard was there. I called after Will Howard.
Okay.
Nevertheless,
I was gonna say,
yeah,
you were calling Will Howard.
No, after Will Howard, which I just learned this weekend. What's up, baseball season? Give me 1 second on that one. That's a very good question, actually. I think it's Ohio State. They look legit, man. Tennessee's a very good team. They just smacked them around. Any winner that turned your head the least? Any winner you saw and you're like, didn't do anything?
I'll be honest with you, no. Because, I mean, again, the games were so lopsided. It's like, okay, like, let's actually see, like, what, there wasn't like a, all right, if I have to choose like a specific part, like Penn State offense, I'll say that. Penn State's offense is, I'll say, is losing.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Because
two
Penn
pick
State's,
sixes, he scored 28 points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there easily should have been, it should have been a 7, at least the start of it was 7, should have been 7-0.
Yeah.
Kevin James rolled out on 4th and 1, faked the handoff, rolled out, and instead of just getting the first down, he tries to throw a touchdown pass, and it turned over on
I did hear all week. Kevin James this, Kevin James that. Watch out for SMU. Good luck playing in Happy Valley in 10-degree weather. All right,
Kevin James, I believed in you, man. I did.
And then baseball season asks a really interesting question here. Do you think the Giants get Cam Ward or Shedeur? Matt, you take this first because I know you're higher on Cam Ward than me. I like Cam Ward, by the way. But
yeah, so personally, I like Cam Ward a lot. I think Cam Ward is going to be the best quarterback out of this draft. But if they go Shedeur, that's not bad as well. I think Shadeur's going to, like I said earlier, I think Shedeur is going to be compared to like Caleb Williams, who's a great quarterback. But I think Jaden Daniels is going to be like Cam Ward.
Okay.
So
I don't hate that.
I think that's kind of like where I'm going at, is trying to give a good comparison as to like with the skill talents. But if I have a choice right now, it's probably like, again, they want to do the right pick in the eyes of for the fans. So they'll probably will they pick Shedeur?
It's a dangerous road.
Will they pick it?
I think so.
I think they will.
Yeah, baseball. I think Giants do go with Shedeur. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's been so much. I don't know if you've seen this baseball season, but Shedeur has been saying like God is great or something like that after every Giants loss.
Giants and Raiders. It's been those two teams.
Yeah.
There was what he was also doing, tweeting something with the Raiders as well.
Really?
Yeah, it was like whole line as well.
And then Coach Prime had an interview. He was talking about he said something like he was asked like, where do you want Shedeur to go? And he said the right things. He's like, oh, wherever he goes. And then something asked like, what if the Giants trade up to 1 or something like that, or trade out of 1? And Shedeur said something like, if they get 1, they're not trading out of it. I promise you that. Like, it sounds to me like Dion has already talked to the Giants a little bit, either about Travis Hunter or about Shedeur. Wow. So I think there's been some communication there.
I think they're not going Travis. They would definitely have to go Shedeur.
Baseball season says, as a Miami and a Giants fan, I would love to see Ward, the Giants' future quarterback. Here's the good news. As a Giants fan, though, if you do get the first overall pick, I do think you're sitting pretty. You're better than you've been for the last 10 years. Either way.
I agree.
Baseball, I'd like to hear your opinion on Shedeur as well, because I do think it's trending towards Shedeur. But either way, shouldn't be too bad over there in New York. For too much longer. I would say I feel for you, but go Birds. You know what I mean?
I think they have a little bit of money to play around with, too, as well.
They should.
I think they have a little bit. I mean,
you got some dead cap with Daniel Jones should be coming off the book soon, I think. But, dude, that whole dead cap thing, sometimes with the football money.
It's crazy.
Over my head, man.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Spotrack.com. That's the only thing that can help me here. All right, got a quick little halftime story before we get a little nutty. It's the holiday season, man. We're doing a lot of football talk, but it is the holiday season, which, by the way, in 10 minutes, if you're just joining us, we are going to be giving away a box of Topps Chrome Logo Fractor.
Sheesh.
There you go, man. Topps Chrome Logo Fractor. Shipping it sealed, so stick around for that. Growing up, Matty Ice, you do the NORAD track Santa. You ever do that?
No.
You never did that?
What is it?
Oh my goodness. So, NORAD, it's like I don't know what it actually stands for, but it's like it's an American government agency where they track like air travel and different like space stuff. I don't know exactly what they do, but every year they have a Santa tracker. And it's basically like Santa's flying over Morocco at 9 p.m. Yeah. It's very fun.
Idea. That's pretty cool.
Oh, man. But baseball season agrees. He does think it's going to be Shedeur. But NORAD, yeah, I did this growing up, make sure your kids are in bed. He's going to be flying over your town at 12:30 a.m. And if you're still up, Santa's not. And it's like, this is a government-run program here. They have little videos. They have like animated videos of Santa, like going by the beaches or something like that. It's awesome, man. Or like the pyramids in Egypt or whatever. Did you know how it was created, though? I mean, you didn't even know it existed.
No, so please tell me.
All right. In 1955, a young child accidentally dialed a wrong phone number. I believe it was Sears or Lowe's. There's a department store doing it, like an ad saying, call this number and give Santa your Christmas list. And I think it was kind of just promoting like, oh, now we know what kids want so we can stock these more. It's kind of a good marketing idea. But on some of these ads, they misprinted the wrong number. That was a direct hotline to NORAD or something like that.
No way.
So there was Force Colonel Harry Shoup, commander on duty. All of a sudden, this kid starts going, I want like a BB gun and I want a teddy bear. And then he goes, you're not Santa. And the guy quickly is like, ho, 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 yes I am, young boy. And basically from there, they thought it would be a good idea to kind of have something for kids. And that's how the NORAD Santa tracker actually began, or at least that's what the NORAD website says. In 1958, each year since, NORAD has dutifully reported Santa's location on December 24th across the USA.
So what does it do? You just call the number and it tells you where he is?
No, now it's a website. So you go on NORAD.gov or whatever it is, and it's like a virtual map where it shows like a tracker of Santa going across the globe and stuff like that. I watched it growing up and all that. It was
really?
It's awesome. Wow. But I never knew how it started, and I thought that was just a neat story that like, you know, it was just some kid calling the wrong number, and they were like, oh crap, we gotta make something here.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to Uncle Sam. They can do something right here and there. There you go. Just a fun little light one for you. All right, Matty Ice. You ready to get into some weird holiday bonanzas?
Let it rock, baby.
Come on now. All right, we did this with Thanksgiving, and it's coincidentally enough. Matt, I remember I put this on the rundown, and Matt texted me, and he goes, Josh, what the hell are you talking about?
I'm still trying to piece what we're going with here, to be honest with you, but here we go.
I said to him during Thanksgiving, I was like, all right, who's the stuffing of Thanksgiving? You know, who's the mashed potatoes?
The mashed potatoes,
So
baby.
now in the NFL, we bring it over to Christmas-themed stuff here in the NFL. So the first question for you, who is the gingerbread of the NFL? I can take it first if you want to get it.
I got to hear your where you're going with this one.
This is my favorite one without a doubt.
Okay.
Gingerbread cookies, right? They're not that good.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so I was going in the right direction here.
I don't think gingerbread is that good. You take gingerbread out of the Christmas season.
You're chilling.
Who's eating gingerbread?
No one.
Right? No
one.
Gingerbread is a cookie that has been carried by the big man up in the North Pole, Santa Claus, by tradition, by ginger. Heck, you have gingerbread houses. Back in my house, I didn't even eat the gingerbread.
No, they just sit there.
It just sits there for decoration.
That's it. There's no reason to touch it.
For that reason, to me, Matt, gingerbread is Brock Purdy.
Oh.
Because to me, Brock Purdy has been absolutely carried by Christian McCaffrey, by Brandon Ayuk, by oh my goodness, Deebo Samuel and Kyle Shanahan. And you know what? When you have all those pieces around him, wow, look at that beautiful gingerbread house. Oh man, it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy by the Yule. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, you take away Christmas, January 10th comes around, and you're sitting there looking at gingerbread without all that fun little happy stuff. Gingerbread's crap.
No, it's not good.
Gingerbread's no better than a snickerdoodle. And I don't even like snickerdoodles, quite frankly, all that much. You still got chocolate chip cookies. You got frosted cookies. You know? Gingerbread's nothing, man. You got so many. You can name good 20 cookies better than gingerbread all of a sudden when you take away the Christmas time. To me, that is Brock Purdy. Baseball season thinks Tua, but baseball season.
Oh, man.
We just watched those two play yesterday. Granted, neither of them looked spectacular. And I do think there was a point to be made for Tua there. I think Tua's a little bit better. Fair play baseball season. Yeah. But you saw yesterday, mano a mano, Tua won that battle out there. So I'm going to say, Brock Purdy, you're the gingerbread of Christmas season. All right, Matty Ice, what do you got here?
All right, for me, as you said, gingerbread, not good. Not good. The gingerbread house, there was a couple things I did have from the gingerbread house, though.
Okay.
It was like the gumdrops. That was it. It was like the gumdrops and the little like sugar crystals.
The gumdrops are like Juwan Jennings in my circumstance. Wow, what do you got, Matt?
And so I'm going to go with it. Kirk Cousins. I mean, we know he's bad. He is bad. The little gumdrops are the Bijan Robinson, the Drake Londons of it.
Like
the gingerbread is Kirk Cousins. He gets stale. He's old news. Get him gone. Get him gone out of the league. We don't need to see Kirk Cousins anymore.
I like that, and I do feel a little bit bad for Kirk Cousins, but I'm not in the business of feeling bad.
He could take his 180 million and be mad.
I'm not in the business of feeling bad for dudes getting $180 million. Big Dog, good morning, Big Dog.
Good morning, Big Dog.
He's gonna retire. He probably will. He honestly probably will. And if he doesn't retire, I could see him being like Josh McCown. You know what I mean? Just collecting a check.
Yeah.
Kirk fits more than Purdy. Ouch! Baseball season. Not liking the Purdy gingerbread.
Wow.
All right, we'll keep it rolling though. How about the stockings, Matty Ice? I'll start this one out with for me the stockings in Christmas. Big stocking fan, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Every season, it's kind of like the bonus, right? You see, growing up, you see the big presents under the tree.
Yep.
You get all excited for the presents, but we do stockings and then presents. For me, the stockings is like this little bonus. It's just like, oh man, I forgot about the stockings every year. Oh, I got those those Lindor truffles in there. Maybe like a $10 Wawa gift card. Just some fun little knickknacks and stuff like that. To me right now, guy you brought up earlier, it's Drake May. Drake May is kind of like that stocking where it's like if you're a Patriots fan, you kind of weren't expecting it to be this good. It's kind of like this little bonus like, oh. I was getting ready for the presents next year, still kind of figuring out life after Tom Brady. Stock is just like a little bit bonus. That's Drake May. A little bit of this. Here's a little Lindor truffle here. Oh, a little bit of, look, it's not going to be all fancy, right? You still see the backwards pass from Ramondre Stevenson. It's not going to be that big bike or that puppy you wanted yet. But for me right now, the stocking would be Drake May. What do you got, Matty Ice?
So as you said, like the stocking, just a bonus stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this team did not think this player was going to be this good. Neither I didn't know, and we're still on getting on board. Give me Bo Nix. Give me Bo Nix.
Let's go.
I don't think the Denver Broncos thought that they'd be in the playoff hunt right now, like this time of year.
Absolutely
I don't think so. There's no way. Bo Nix is that guy. He's that good. And I think that with that being said, I know that they took a little bit of a bad loss against the Chargers, but give me Bo Nix, baby.
I like that, man. Bo Nix as the stocking is a good point. It's like a little bonus, and it's more than Drake May, certainly. Now, I will say, real quick, kind of off that, Bo Nix or Drake May, if you had to pick one.
Give me Drake May.
Yeah, me too. Isn't that crazy?
Drake May, both of them don't have amazing weapons. I mean, you got Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
But other than that,
I do think there's a big
Patriots,
coaching advantage.
You're talking about Keyshawn Boutte. And Demario Douglas. Like, what are we doing here? Like, get the man a weapon.
The hell is
Help him out.
Boutte? Chad, feel free to weigh in. Drake May or Bo Nix? Kind of a simple question right there. All right, last one for you here, Matty Ice.
Oh, baby.
The eggnog.
Oh, come on.
This
That's
is
the
a
best
tough
part,
one,
baby.
Man. The eggnog. Now, this is, it's...
Some people love it, some people hate it.
Well, in my opinion, though, the eggnog is the opposite of the gingerbread, right? Like, and I've always said this about eggnog. Eggnog is a fantastic drink.
Yeah.
I wish we got to have it more than just the Christmas season. It's like the opposite. It's carrying.
Yeah.
So, Matty Ice, do you have an eggnog off the rip?
Give me...
It's not an easy one, man.
Give me Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow
being the eggnog.
I kind of like that.
Give me Joe Burrow because he's, like, for me, eggnog, I wish we could have it year round. I don't know why we make it just a Christmas thing. I don't know why. I like eggnog. I think it's amazing. And Joe Burrow is the eggnog for me. I think Joe Burrow is going to be, dude. I think he is that good.
He's a feel-good player.
We need to see him every single weekend and have him every year.
Eggnog, it's a cold drink, makes you feel a little warm.
A little shifty on
Joe
Christmas
Burrow,
Eve.
I like that, dude. Come on, get a little fancy out here.
Exactly.
I like that. You know what? I'm kind of jealous of yours, to be completely honest, but I'm going to stick with what I had. I think Andy Reid is kind of the eggnog.
Oh.
Maybe it's because eggnog makes me feel like jolly in the stomach.
There we go.
A little bit jello-y in the stomach after having eggnog,
man.
and that's Andy Reid. But to me, it's like, and I think this kind of stemmed from watching the Chiefs this Saturday, right? Is like, everyone talks all season about how, the Chiefs are down.
Yeah.
We're waiting on the Chiefs to lose. And look, as much credit as Mahomes gets, as much credit as Spags gets, at the end of the day, Andy Reid is the best head coach in the NFL.
Yes.
Andy Reid will go down as one of the best head coaches in the NFL. And while, in the Christmas season, and when it matters the most, he's the big man, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he is.
But it's all season, too. He should get more credit than he does, and he gets a ton of credit, I think. Andy Reid is really a mastermind, and I think at some points we kind of take him for granted because Mahomes is so good, because that defense is so good. Andy Reid is still the one pulling the strings.
Mastermind.
And for me, he's the eggnog. I'm jealous of yours, though. I think the Burrow was better. That was really good, Matty Ice. All right, what do we got? Let me see. Got to get the old iPhone with the ticking clock. Almost 8 o'clock. We have 5 seconds before we get our giveaway up. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be getting our giveaway up right now, baby. 8 o'clock in the morning. A Topps Chrome logo. Oh, look at that. Getting fancy here with the emojis, Mike. There we go. Topps Chrome logo fractor box for the free. Appreciate you guys joining us. And a Merry Christmas. And guys, a reminder, any break we fill still, today and tomorrow, I guess, your last 2 days until Christmas, we'll be donating $100 to Toys for Tots. We've already raised over $3,000 so far that's been given to Toys for Tots. And any personal purchase you guys make will be $50 going to Toys for Tots as well.
It's actually really awesome because yesterday when we were running, obviously there was one break we ran. It was all of the total of the auction was going straight to Toys for Tots for that one auction.
That's awesome.
And there was people that hopped in on the break.
That's actually awesome.
And they said, I don't even know what we're opening, but I just saw the sign that you're donating this entire break to Toys for Tots. That was really, really cool to see.
You love to see that, man, because, I think when you do this job and like when you're on these apps as much as you are sometimes, there is a lot of complaining and troublemaking, and it can get teary sometimes. So it's nice to see that positivity and that giving going on.
Absolutely.
Ashley says almost $4,000. Baseball season says Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I believe the stream that starts on Christmas Eve, it will roll into the late nights. That will count. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ashley.
It's just one, so I would assume it would be that day.
So anything from now for the rest of the night and anything on the stream that starts on Christmas Eve as well. Yes. Any break that fills, any personal purchase that's made today and tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll be donating $100 for each break and $50 for each personal purchase through the end of the shift. Yes. Thank you, Ashley, though. So that's been awesome, guys. So hop on in. We're going to be ripping some, what do we got today? A little Bowman HTA Choice and Delightful cases.
Oh, baby.
Hello.
Come on. How we doing?
Hop on in, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. It'll be Christmas in California. There you go. All right, moving right along, Matty Ice. Real quick, on the Christmas talk here.
Okay.
Before we're going to bounce back and forth. Little Christmas, little sports
Little tennis.
Little tennis here. This is I know it's a controversial one. People have different answers. What's a better day for you? Christmas Eve or actual Christmas?
I gotta go Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Christmas Eve is just the best.
Good morning,
Nothing
Rob.
beats it. You have that great dinner. You get a little eggnog in.
There you go.
You're sitting by the fire. Nothing beats it. The whole family's there. It's a great time. Give me Christmas Eve all day, and it's not even close.
Not even close,
It's really not. Because, it's just something about it. Because I think it has to do with the anticipation of Christmas as well.
Bingo, yes. Well, feel free to weigh in, guys. What do we think? Christmas Eve or Christmas? What's the actual better day? I am totally with you. Growing up, I don't think I knew Christmas was the 25th until I was like 9 years old. I always thought Christmas was the 24th for some reason. I don't know. I was like, this feels like Christmas. That's what everyone talks about. All right, everyone says Christmas Eve. Baseball says Christmas Eve. Mike, Ashley's calling for a poll here. I don't know if you can dial that up. Mike on the ones and twos today. Wait, Big Dog says and you guys roast me. Well, Big Dog, I said until I was 8. You're 26, my man. I'm pretty sure you should figure out what day Christmas and Christmas Eve is at this point. But there you go. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I totally think Christmas Eve is way better, especially at this age. I'm texting my sisters. They're like, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, I just want to be alive.
I know you're not wrong, man.
I just want to get home and see you guys. I don't know. Like, what do you want? She's like, same. I don't know. I don't want anything. I'm sorry. Like, I didn't get my sister anything for Christmas.
I'm going home for Christmas. Actually, today it was 10 degrees. It was 10 degrees in New York.
Our shout out Ben.
I'm not looking forward to this. I saw the photos in like 10 puffer jackets.
Ben, who usually produces the show and does a lot of our media and social stuff. He was in Rochester and Buffalo at the Bills game yesterday in 3-degree weather. It's gonna be a bit of a shock over there.
Yeah, it's not gonna be fun.
All right, quick little NFL rapid fire here as we break down a big weekend of football. Michael Penix, man, we talked a lot about the Falcons and Michael Penix. Kind of a two-parter here for you. Your review on Michael Penix and two kind of NFC South now. Do you think it's a lot more open?
Michael Penix didn't have an amazing game, but he didn't have a bad game. It was just kind of like an okay game. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good. It was just kind of like, okay, we didn't really see enough to make a judgment, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that changes. I think the Bucs are still the favorite. I liked what I saw from Baker Mayfield. Again, we really didn't get too much into the game, but Ronald Jones sold that so bad. I mean, that was Rashad White, I think is who it was.
I'm not sure.
I think it was Rashad White.
Dude, here's the thing, though. I don't even know if it was White or whoever it was. I don't even know if he sold it. Hell of a play. I think it was Deron Bland.
Oh my gosh.
Hell of a play.
Pulled
Just
it
to
out of his
pull-
arms.
yeah.
And Baker, let's talk about Baker for a second. The
Yeah.
fact that he was able to avoid the sack, he had 3 guys all over him, just manages to get his arms over and then flick the ball just to then
That's
get
a
it ripped
grown
away.
man play right
Oh, my
there.
gosh.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No. We kind of and baseball says Penix is going to be a stud. I tend to agree with you.
I think he will.
Season.
I need to see more though. I can't make it too. I don't want to make too much of a
No, and
rash
there's-
decision right now.
And that's the right take, I think, is that, it's don't get too high, don't get too low. But I will say, you have seen a lot worse debuts. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
He could have looked a lot worse. I think you saw, you talk to these rookies and you hear them talk. They always talk about the speed of the game. Here we go. Bang. Let me get on this. Christmas Eve. Bang. You hear them talk about the speed of the game, and I think you saw that a little bit at first with Michael Penix. He got into it a little more. It's a lot different. That catch might have been a touchdown, and
Yes.
instead it turns into an interception.
Yeah.
I know you were ripping. I'm not sure if you saw it. It was literally like a touchdown catch, punched out and into the hands of a defender, and that was how
Really?
he ended up throwing an interception. I'll say this much. There's no doubt about this. He's not worse than Kirk Cousins.
I think it makes him more dynamic.
What's
It
that?
makes that Atlanta offense way more dynamic. I think Kirk Cousins was obviously hindering that entire offense, and I think Michael Penix really just opens it up for them,
Yeah.
and especially for Bijan as well.
Well, yeah, and I think you saw with Penix, it was just like, all right, just hand the ball to Bijan. Woof. And then the Falcons. I mean, look,
Yeah.
the Giants threw that game away, absolutely. And then the Buccaneers last night, we were talking about Baker.
Oh, boy.
Are you like, is this just a Baker Mayfield experience? Is this just the Tampa Bay Buccaneers experience, or was this kind of like eye-raising, like, man, let's pump the brakes on the Buccaneers side?
I really think it's just the Baker Mayfield experience. I think you know what you're going to get out of him. You're going to get a competitor every single game. He's going to fight. He ended up having a pretty decent stat line, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see.
He was very slow.
303 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 31 of 43. That's a good stat line.
I'm trying to think of the interception. Oh, the interception was nuts too. Did you see the interception?
I did not, no.
So he had Jalen McMillan wide open, and actually Jalen McMillan caught it. It sounded like very similar to the punch out situation, so it easily could have been a touchdown. But he
Yes,
punched
I did. It looked like
he
a
ripped it-
touchdown.
he
You're
ripped
right. I
he
did
ripped
see
He
it.
ripped it out of his hands.
Just when I watched the highlight of that at 5:45 in the morning, it zapped out of my brain here.
Yeah.
Look, here, my biggest take on this game would be this. More of a strip, less of an interception. Fair enough. By the way, kind of a sidebar. Did you see CBS Sports' tweet on the Josh Allen threw an interception yesterday in the end zone?
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
And CBS Sports tweets, an arm punt from Josh Allen pins the Patriots at the 1. What kind of marketing are we doing for Josh Allen where his interceptions are now quote-unquote arm punts?
Oh,
What
jeez.
the hell is this? And Christmas Eve wins the poll.
I don't know.
I think the Buccaneers win that game against most other teams in the NFL for this
Yes.
reason. No kickers carry a team to a win like Brandon Aubrey did yesterday.
No. Brandon Aubrey.
58-yard field goal, 49-yard field goal, 58-yard field goal, 53-yard field goal. Made every kick last night. I don't think any other kicker does that.
Wish he was
You know
on
what I
my
mean?
fantasy
Like,
team.
what's
I
that?
said wish he was on my fantasy team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the Buccaneers, this is just the Buccaneers experience.
Yeah.
They could lose to any team in the NFL 1 through 30. They couldn't lose to the Giants. They couldn't lose to the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Those are the two they
Yeah,
couldn't
I know.
lose to. And I think they could beat any team in the NFL. I think, look, I'm not going to pick them against the Lions. They could do it. They could beat the Eagles. That's for damn sure.
Their
I'm
offense
scared to
is
see
so
the Buccaneers.
weird, though. The offense is weird. It's so dynamic, but it seems like they stall out so many times.
That's true.
It's weird. It doesn't make sense because you have your Bucky Irving, you have your Mike Evans, you have your Jalen McMillan, who, by the way, I think is phenomenal.
Dude, if there's one silver lining from the Chris Godwin's injury, you do have another
you
injury.
realize that how
guy.
elite McMillan could be. He has the potential of it for sure. And his quarterback in college, Michael Penix, Washington
That's
boy.
true. I forgot
So
about
I mean, I'm a big fan of McMillan. So I think that the Buccaneers offense is. I think they can put it together and make a nice little run.
So-
Make a nice little run.
Keeping it with the Buccaneers a little bit here. I'm looking at the playoff picture.
Okay.
It's very interesting. What 6 or 7 seed do you think could be the most dangerous? And excuse me for moving the goalpost, let's take the Packers out of it, because I think after tonight there will become a 5 seed. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so
6 or 7 seed. We're looking at the Falcons, Commanders, Buccaneers. We'll kind of lump those 3 into that because they're going to be your 6 or 7
Yep.
seed, and then Chargers and Broncos. Which 6 or 7 seed do you think would be the most dangerous team right now?
Probably Commanders.
Yeah, me too.
I think the Commanders
I'll go
are that
Commanders.
dangerous. I think that they've had. I mean, you have to remember that Jaden Daniels missed a game as well, and he also got hurt.
That's true. I forgot.
So
about
I mean, that's also a big thing. But I think the Commanders. I mean, they just took down the Eagles, who are a phenomenal team. Phenomenal team.
Thanks, Matt. Thank
I
you.
know.
Appreciate it.
But I think that James Daniels is really, really good. Terry McLaurin, I mean, especially when that defense can click, I think that they could be a very scary team, especially in postseason play.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's absolutely the Commanders. It's definitely known from the AFC. I think the Chargers would be a fun matchup against like the Ravens, so to speak, another hardball bowl. But Broncos not doing it for me in the first round.
I don't want to face the Ravens.
Chargers not doing it for me in the first round. And I do think the Buccaneers would also be interesting, and I do think they still make the playoffs. But it's not a sure thing anymore.
No.
All right, we got some more Christmas talk for you here, Matty Ice.
Oh, I love Christmas.
Do you have a favorite Christmas tradition? I don't know how the Ice household celebrates Christmas, but we got a favorite Christmas tradition?
Honestly, we don't really have a Christmas tradition.
Yeah.
No, we just kind of keep it low key. We used to, so all of our family moved down to Florida actually. So my parents are still up in New York. But what we used to do is I know. So what we used to do is we used to just bring all the family over. We used to just kind of hang out, have a big Christmas Eve. But then, past couple of years, it's just kind of been us, and it's been a lot of fun as well.
There you go.
So,
anyone in the chat got any weird Christmas traditions? Like, I found out some funny stuff about Thanksgiving, like Chandi with his Thanksgiving egg rolls.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I still need the recipe for that.
Dude,
sound amazing.
It's fantastic. I know people got some wacky traditions out there. I know sometimes. I'm trying to think for me. I mean, Christmas morning, we always have like some sticky buns and bacon, and that's always just like, it just warms the heart. You know what I mean? Then you go over to grandma's house, have a little roast beast, have a little ham.
Oh, man.
All right, of course, very polarizing topic here. By the way, 4 minutes. What's up, Mally? Mally, right in time for sticky buns. 4 minutes until we give away a Topps Chrome logo fractor. 38 entries, ladies and gentlemen. Hop on in. Ashley says, ugly Christmas sweater contest. I do not own an ugly Christmas sweater. I'm feeling a little left out. I gotta get some. I gotta get a nice like menorah or some good Hanukkah stuff. I would say that's my favorite Christmas tradition is being able to also celebrate Hanukkah. I know that's kind of cheating, being 50% Christmas celebrating, 50% Hanukkah celebrating. Always did a little bit of both. And like the menorah, play a little dreidel. We have tamales here. That way everyone gets to unwrap something. Now we're talking, Mally. Christmas tamales. Dude, I got to give Mally credit. I always forget he's in California. 5 a.m., Mally. Appreciate you hopping in here.
Holy cow.
I know, right?
Appreciate you hopping on in.
Speaking of the holidays over on the West Coast, I believe that's where Die Hard took place. So get on the record here, Matty Ice. Very polarizing. Everyone asks, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
It can't be. There's no way.
It can't be? Real Justin Adams says yes. A lot of people say yes,
really?
Matty Ice. Dude, the whole movie takes place during a Christmas party.
Okay.
There's a lot of Christmas riddled throughout the movie. I understand the case to be made. Officially say no.
I can't get on board with it. I really can't.
I say no. I say no. And
I can't.
And I have said yes my whole life. And these last 2 years, I think it was a Die Hard rewatch, and I started to walk it back, and I'm like, you know what? It's fun to say it's a Christmas movie when you want to be a thorn in other people's sides.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And
Just
be like different. Yeah. But when I actually think about it, I'm like, man, Die Hard's not a Christmas. It's a great movie. There's no debating that. There's no shame in watching it around the holiday time. But if we're going to categorize things as Christmas movies, I'm going to have to say no. I'm going to say no.
It's an action thriller movie, man. Like, it's not a Christmas movie. Well, what? There's no way.
Justin Adams says it's no Home Alone. Dude, Home Alone is fantastic. What's your favorite? I was about to say, do you have a favorite Christmas movie?
Yeah, I'm going to go with... I have two. I really have two. I like The Grinch a lot. I'm a big fan of The Grinch.
Dude, wait. Jim Carrey Grinch or animated Grinch?
Jim Carrey Grinch? Come on, man.
Dude, that is polarizing right there. People hate The Grinch, man.
I love that movie. It is so funny. And then Home Alone is another classic. Those are probably my top two right there. Those are my top two.
I feel like Home Alone is, it gets slept on. You know what I mean?
It really does.
It seems a little like stupid sometimes, but when you actually sit down and watch it, it's a damn
is
good
it because
movie.
they made the fourth? Like because the first two were great. I think it's because
first two were fantastic.
The first two were phenomenal, and then I think they made another one, and then that one just flopped.
All right, we got some submissions in the chat. Justin Adams says Home Alone. Mally says Bad Santa. Is that Billy Bob Thornton?
Yeah, I think so, dude.
Dude, I like Billy Bob Thornton, but I've never watched Bad Santa. I'm sorry. I might have to give it a chance. The Large says Four Christmases. Four Christmases is not a bad movie, but it pissed me off, to be honest. Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn, I'm pretty sure.
National Lampoons is another one.
National Lampoons might be my favorite. And actually, Elf. Elf, I think, is the objective best Christmas movie.
That
For
one's so
me,
funny.
my family, that's a tradition. We watch Elf every single Christmas Eve. I might be a little bit, I've seen it too many times, but hold that thought for 1 second. Talking about Christmas, 3, 2, 1. We're giving away a box of Topps Chrome Logo Fractor. Mike says Die Hard. Good luck, everybody. Ring in the new year. Celebrate Christmas. Celebrate Hanukkah with a box of Topps Chrome Logo Fractor. Good luck. What do we got? DJ Lawler. Let's go, DJ Lawler. I know DJ Lawler's in here all the time rocking with us.
He really is, yeah.
Happy for you, DJ Lawler. Big congratulations on a Topps Chrome Logo Fractor going to you. Rip it with the fam, whatever you want.
There we go.
Celebrate the holidays. Congratulations to you, DJ Lawler. There you go. Appreciate everyone hopping in here. We got some more Christmas movie shout-outs in here. Jingle All the Way. I've never seen that one. I don't know what that one is. Justin Adams goes, I don't know the name of it. The one where it says, you'll shoot your eye out, I believe. Christmas Story. Love that one. Christmas Story is in my top 5, actually. They play it all day on TNT.
It's classic.
The reason I like that, I don't know about you, if it's being, growing up, it's a big day, Christmas. Me and my sisters would wake up at like 6 in the freaking morning, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And we would sit downstairs by the presents and watch Christmas Story until our parents woke up. So I'd be going on Christmas Story like 1.5 times by the time I was opening up presents.
There you go.
Good morning, Jahir. Good to see you hopping in here again today. All right, a couple more Christmas questions for you here.
I'm loving it. Here
Do you have the best Christmas present of your entire life?
Woo!
That's a tough one. Because to be honest with you, I don't think I have a good answer.
Can I go with the most sentimental one?
Sure, man.
Something
no
like
wrong
that?
answers here.
All right, give me 1 second.
Because I'm gonna be a real what? I'm a real pain in the arse over here with my answer.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna give my worst Christmas present. I'm sorry, Mom.
All right, give it to me. You give me yours. I gotta think about mine now. Come on, give it to me. I gotta hear this now.
Does anyone else have anything? There was a Christmas present in my house.
I'm trying to remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, and I've been talking about Christmas presents.
I know.
Holy moly.
This was like an incident in my household. Freshman year of college, the big Christmas gift I got was a griddle. And I did not shield or fake anything. I was like, I opened it and I was like, Mom, what the hell is this?
Oh man.
Like, what am I supposed to do with this? I don't want a griddle. Why would you get this for me? And my mom did not like that.
Oh, okay.
And needless to say, Christmas of 2018 was not a happy one in the Saffron household. Looking back on it, I feel a little bad about how but in my defense, I was an 18-year-old in college. Why would you get me a griddle?
Get the man a griddle.
Why would you get me a griddle? She's like, I don't know, you could cook on it in your dorm. And I was like, Mom, I don't know. Mally says, I'm going to give you a razor for that caterpillar. Whoa. Mally. Whoa, man. Mally. It makes it funnier for me knowing it's 5:18 in the morning and you're probably bleary-eyed. You're like, give him a razor for that caterpillar. You know what I mean? Jesus, Mally. Come on.
Oh, man.
Cook says, go Birds, but what the hell was that, Cook? If you missed it, Cook, Kenny Pickett played a decent game. I still feel good about the Eagles, Cook. I don't know about you. Please let me know how you feel. We touched on it a little bit, so I don't want to go over the top. Matty Ice, you got a best Christmas present as well?
Yeah, I got one. All right. So Bill's first playoff game, I was at it in Jacksonville, and whenever they broke the drought, the wild card game against Duval and Jalen Ramsey and all that.
Yeah.
So my dad got me a ticket to the
game. That's awesome, actually.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, no,
dude,
that was great.
That's a great gift right there.
Yeah,
that's a good gift.
I have to say that one. That was probably the best.
I'm not sure if Mally means a literal eggplant in a box or the Justin Timberlake Lonely Island song. If you know, you know. Either way, Mally, that's hilarious. Big Dog, are you talking about Kristaps Porzingis? I know that's not what you're talking about. What's KP? Ultimate Torture is having... Oh, Kenny Pickett.
Oh.
I thought he meant on Christmas watching Kristaps Porzingis. There we go. The song. All right, there you go. Just a big eggplant guy. Italian, I guess. Loves eggplant parmesan. He's a vegetarian Italian. Let's go with that. And Cook says it's just the Falcons game on repeat. Not wrong about that, Cook. I will say the difference, though, is you didn't have Jalen Hurts, Cook. If I had a big takeaway from this game... I have a lot more respect for Jalen Hurts. I mean, it's very obvious how big of an impact he makes on the offense. I thought he meant Key and Peele. Well, it's never torture watching Key and Peele.
Yeah.
Maui.
No, that's great. That's good stuff right there.
All right, I put together a little sports Christmas wish list.
Okay.
Matty Ice.
Oh, here we go.
And feel free to give some wish lists of your own. But this one was very thought out for me. So if you will, I'll just take 5 here for a moment here.
All right.
Dear Santa, this year I've been a very good boy. So please, can we get less replay review in sports? The NFL has done a better job this year with the expedited review, but it is impossible to watch the NBA. It is impossible to watch baseball sometimes. And forget about the last 2 minutes in college basketball. We gotta stop it. The second thing I'm asking for, Santa, is can we have football people be on the college football playoff committee? Not the president of Yale, not the president of Harvard and Clemson, not the commissioner of the Big Ten. Actual football people. Can we also have the college football playoff committee pick the 12 best teams, damn it, Santa? And please, Santa, do not extend the NFL to 18 games. 17 is more than enough. We are just going to see I was thinking about this. We're going to see a really terrible product, I think, week 18.
I think so as well.
A lot of these playoffs are going to be decided. There's going to be some Tanner McKee potential for the Eagles. Like, you might not even want to play Kenny Pickett in week 18.
It might be worse than a preseason game.
That's what I'm
really
saying.
Might be.
Also, while we're on the topic, there was some talk this last week about the March Madness field extending to 72. If there's one thing under the Christmas tree, can I get a 68-team field?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. I do not need to change the greatest thing in sports, in my opinion. Also, Santa, do not let the Eagles play the Buccaneers in round 1 of the playoffs again. I have seen enough Todd Bowles in January and February for a lifetime. I know this movie before. It does not end well.
Oh, boy.
Santa, that's one of my biggest wish lists. Forget about the other two. Just no Buccaneers in the playoffs. Also, I don't know if your elves can work some magic. Maybe Mrs. Claus can cook with some extra love this year. But can we get the NBA regular season mean something?
It's got to do something.
Anything.
Got to do something with that.
I don't know how he can do it, but the big man upstairs, and I'm not talking about Lord and Savior, I'm talking about Mr. Claus. You got to work some Christmas magic this year. Also, it's a newly minted problem for mine, waking up at these 5:30 alarms.
Oh, yeah.
Can we kick these games off at 7:30? Would it kill ya? Mally, let me know over here. I know the reason it's 8 partially is for the West Coast, but can we kick these primetime games off at 7:30? It's ridiculous. I made it to the fourth quarter. I had $150 to win if the Buccaneers won. Now they lost. And, I'm not here to complain about my parlays.
Oh,
whatever. It's boring. It's not good sports talk. But still, I wanted to watch the games. Fourth quarter comes around. There's 14 minutes, and I go, I can't do it. I just gave up and fell asleep. And last, but not least, Santa, I'm talking to you, big man. Do not let Steve Cohen and do not let Juan Soto put the Mets back onto the nice list. Oh. Keep them on the naughty list. Keep giving the Bobby Bonilla colon the stocking for the New York Mets. Do not let Juan Soto change the spirit of the New York Mets. And that is my Christmas list to you, Santa Claus.
That is a great list.
Oh, Matty Ice, what do we got? Anything on the wish list?
Give me the Bills to win the Super Bowl one time. I've asked for it every single year. I never get it.
There you go.
I've
Short
always
and
just thought I was
sweet
a bad
and simple.
kid and
I
made the
like
naughty
it.
list, and it's never worked. Number 2. Give me a Yankee World Series as well.
You're getting greedy.
Yeah, I'm getting greedy.
You're getting
I want to
greedy.
get greedy. I want to get greedy. I want to see the Yankees win it. We were this close. But it didn't happen. And for that, that's my list.
Mally says, would you take a Bills win if it means Mets win? I think absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Listen, the Mets can win the next 5.
Mally, have you seen what's happened to the Bills before?
Yeah. Listen, you can win the next 5.
Come on now. That's ridiculous here. No soup for you. All right, real quick, I do got to get a little bit serious. I got to say, rest in peace, Ricky Henderson.
Oh, yeah.
Just going to bring it in. It was a big weekend of the MLB, but I think no bigger news than Ricky Henderson. I mean, I never had the pleasure of watching Ricky Henderson play.
Yeah, I mean,
but growing up, there was 2 documentaries I watched that really kind of sent me into a different level of love for these sports. It was Allen Iverson, watching Allen Iverson documentaries on his crossover, and then Run, Ricky, Run, I believe, or no, that was the 30 for 30. MLB Network did their own Ricky Henderson documentary. I remember watching that as a wee lad, and it changed how I watched baseball. Growing up playing Little League, it changed how I played baseball. Guy like me, 5'7", I was not hitting nukes. I saw how Ricky Henderson stole bases. I was a pretty quick kid. It's like I wanted to be Ricky Henderson, and I never even got to watch him.
Yeah.
I remember I made my dad take me to 3 different Game Stops after watching a Ricky Henderson documentary to find a video game with Ricky Henderson in it, just so I could play with him.
Wow.
So, rest in peace, Ricky Henderson.
Yeah,
65, gone
awesome.
too soon.
Way too soon.
One of when I think about baseball players, and I'm not to date myself here, that I wish I could have gotten to really watch in their prime, I say Greg Maddux for pitchers, and I say Ricky Henderson, other than those steroid guys. I would like to see Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, and all that. But Ricky Henderson for position players.
Definitely.
So, yeah, man, there you go. Ricky Henderson there, rest in peace. Did want to quickly react to some baseball news before we hand it over to some baseball breaks today. And I got a couple more Christmas topics as well. But Josh Naylor, dude, traded to the Diamondbacks
so interesting.
for Slade Ciccone.
That's so weird.
And listen, Slade Ciccone was a decent rookie arm this last
but
year.
it's not Josh Naylor.
And then the Guardians turned around and signed Carlos Santana, who's 39 years old. Is this too much money ball? Because don't get me wrong, this is a classic Moneyball move. The Guardians, you're removed from an ALCS trip. You trade away you're like 1B, I would say, hitter in that lineup to Jose Ramirez.
Yeah.
What'd you make of that move, Matty Ice?
I think we need to. It doesn't make sense. I'm not sure exactly what Slade Ciccone brings to the table, and then let alone bring in Carlos Santana. Not really make any sense there.
We
could ask Bo. I wonder what Bo Naylor's thinking about right now. Like,
to me, it's a classic Moneyball move. It's just you're gonna have to pay Josh Naylor a bunch of money. I guess you're saying they can replicate some of Josh Naylor's production for way lower of the cost and get a younger guy in that rotation. But to me, I think Josh Naylor, I don't want to say the superstar, but he is a perennial all-star. I'd say easily a top 5 first baseman in the MLB. Just a very low return on investment.
Yeah, I'm not understanding it.
Your Yankees signed Paul Goldschmidt. I was a Yankees fan. What was your reaction to that?
I was okay with it. I mean, it's not it's just a classic Yankee move.
That was. I don't know if you saw it. I had the rundown. My next question was, is that just a classic Yankees move?
No, I literally just saying it. It really is. It's a classic Yankees move. Sign an old vet and hope that it works out. He probably won't. He'll probably hit around 240, hit it 10, 15 home runs, and he'll probably be fine in the field. But it's a low risk, high reward move. You're hoping for the best out of a guy that has produced in the past.
So we got baseball season and J-Bob ran in on that Josh Naylor thing. Baseball says Naylor on a contract year and they weren't going to sign him back. I know baseball season, but I do think,
they're contenders.
Exactly. I think you could have either waited longer, and I think you could have gotten, maybe I'm wrong, maybe that was just really the market on Josh Naylor. I feel like you could have gotten more
decent,
than Slade Ciccone. And J-Bob, I totally agree. When I was breaking, a little more often, I was selling the crap out of that Guardian spot because I kept saying Kyle Manzardo. I completely agree. But you were, to your point, you were just in the ALCS. You're going to have Kyle Manzardo for at least 5 more years. Why not see what you have this year as the Guardians? It's just a little bit curious to me. And how do you feel about that? I think this should ask you for Matty Ice as a Yankees fan. How would you feel about Arenado possibly going to the Yankees? My question is, though, baseball season, not to cut is there any room for him? Right? You have a full infield now. You got Jazz at third. You got Volpe at short. I guess now you put Arenado at third and move Jazz
that's kind of the last
short or
position
second.
I wanted to address first and third. So obviously with us signing Paul Goldschmidt, that takes out Pete Alonso or any of the other players that we were looking at. Now I did want a third baseman as well.
Okay.
So I wanted to move Jazz to second and keep Volpe at short, but
dude, that infield's awesome.
I want Bregman.
You want Bregman?
I want Bregman a lot. I can't lie. I really, really want him. I think he would fit the best.
The benefit of Bregman is that you don't have to give up anything to get Bregman other than money, and it's not your money at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Baseball says, slide Jazz to second. I don't think they need Arenado, and he's a lot of money. Well, the difference would be, I think Arenado, you're paying him a lot of money, and you have to give up assets.
You have to give up assets as well, and I think that the Yankees are learning the lesson with giving up assets, like the Soto trade.
Big time.
I think that also leaves a little lingering effect in Cashman's head almost. Where he doesn't want to necessarily do it. So I think Alex Bregman is the more realistic option for the Yankees right now.
I don't know. I personally don't love Bregman, but I couldn't disagree. The Yankees lineup would be stacked.
I love Bregman. He's so good.
I mean, he's
so
a perennial
good.
all-star,
So
one of the best third basemen of the last 5 years or so. The Goldschmidt move I thought was a really good
If they
move
bring in Bregman, they get an A+ for this offseason.
I'm already giving them an A on the offseason.
Yeah.
I hate to admit it.
Just get the plus. Give me the plus. Just bring in Bregman. That's all I ask.
But Goldschmidt at 1 year, $12 million. It's just like a classic Yankees move. If he's bad, you still have Ben Rice, right? It's not like you're absolutely screwed.
Exactly.
And I think Goldschmidt's game, I could be wrong. He looked very bad first half of last year, but he did turn it around. I think his game can translate
What is he,
to
30?
39. I'm pretty sure, dude. Short porch in right field. Hopefully he can pop a couple out.
Oh.
Christian Walker, which is the other name we were
that was the name I thought they would
signs the Astros 5 year, $130 million. How are you kind of viewing the Astros offseason, and are they still contenders going into this next year?
Because their moves are very interesting, because they traded Kyle Tucker instead of trying to sign him back. That was kind of their goal with that, because he has 1 year left on his contract, and that's kind of the goal with the Cubs, is that they're going to sign him to a long-term contract. He's the more MLB-ready player. Meanwhile, they got Isaiah Paredes, and they got Cam Smith in that, which are two Cam Smith, we all know about Cam Smith being a massive prospect. Do I think Cam Smith is going to help the team out a little bit more in the future? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think it's going to take years. That could take a couple years. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Kyle Tucker is going to help the Cubs out instantaneously.
Damn right he will.
So
and maybe I'm still waiting on them to sign him to a longer deal.
Yeah,
I'm a Cubs fan, I'm like nervous every day that goes by that you don't see that deal go through.
And so with Bregman, I'm assuming they're not bringing Bregman back.
I assume they're not bringing back Bregman.
Yeah,
back.
so
no, you got your third baseman,
Bregman,
your first baseman. This to me says you're definitely not bringing back Bregman. There's some talk about Paredes being first and you could bring Bregman back. Now there's no way that's
I don't think so. It doesn't make sense to me.
I gotta give the Astros credit, and I think I don't agree with their organizational philosophy where they don't sign any of these guys. Like I would have shelled out big money for Kyle Tucker. I think he's worth it.
100%.
But as far as a pivot goes, I love what they're doing. They're saying this is our window. We're gonna sign Christian Walker to 5 years. I think their window is really like 3 years. Altuve, Paredes, Yordan. Now you got Yanier Diaz growing. They're trying to make a 3-year real window, and then you still got guys like Yanier Diaz, Jeremy Pena, Cam Smith coming up the wings, where you can kind of set yourself up for a second where you don't have to totally rebuild like they did before. Lombardo, Cubs don't have the history of giving out contracts, so why would Tucker get one? Lombardo, I think because they have shown the ability to do it. I think there's a lot of regret on that Jason Hayward contract, and I do think I don't think they trade Cody Bellinger if they weren't sure that they were going to give Kyle Tucker a big deal, Lombardo.
Yeah.
And I don't think you give up Cam Smith. I don't think you trade for Kyle Tucker without signing him to a big deal. Yep. Don't you, Lombardo? I don't know. But
you don't give up Cam Smith if you're not going to.
But to your point, Lombardo, I think that's why if you're a Cubs fan, you are nervous every day that goes by. You're like, oh my God, are they going to do this again?
Where is the ink?
Exactly.
Where's the ink? Show us the ink.
I don't know, Lombardo. I don't know if you're a Cubs fan or if you don't think that they're going to sign Kyle Tucker. But, all right, Matty Ice, that'll just about do it for us. But I did want to quickly give out my top 5 Christmas songs.
Oh, here we go.
And we can weigh in real quick. Lombardo says, besides Hayward, who have they given a big deal to? And they could have gave Bellinger that long-term deal in years past. I agree, Lombardo. I agree. That's my point, though. I think you're nervous if you're a Cubs fan. I personally just think they're going to because they gave up so much for him. I think Kyle Tucker's a stud. As a Phillies fan, I hope they don't because I know Dombrowski and John Middleton will give him that big deal. The Cubs would be absolutely fools for not giving Kyle, to let him walk, to give up the Cam Smith and not let him walk.
Yeah,
I think they do though.
You don't give up Cam Smith and let him walk. There's no way.
And I wonder if they're trying to squeeze him because I was thinking, what was it? $400 million was going to be the deal, and I think Hayward was $184 million. So to Lombardo's point, Tucker's going to free agency. I hope so, Lombardo. I hope so.
He'll look good in pinstripes.
Yeah, stop it now. You got red pinstripes. But I don't know. I think it's a huge loss for the Cubs if they don't. We'll keep tabs on it, Lombardo. I'll tip my cap to you. I'll remember this a year from now, potentially. But anyways, top 5 Christmas songs, Matty Ice. You're a Christmas songsman, by the way. Very polarizing topic.
Do I have a favorite one?
Are you pro Christmas songs in general?
Not really. I'll be honest with you.
Me neither.
I mean, every once in a while I'll throw it on. I mean, other than that, it's not like I'm just jamming and rocking and rolling all day long listening to Christmas.
There's people who are rocking on Christmas songs day after Thanksgiving all the way till.
Yeah, I just can't.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I threw on Christmas songs December 21st. I went from December 21st. So it's 2 days ago, Saturday, I guess. For me, that's when the Christmas songs are acceptable.
If you're
Everyone
making
has
Christmas
their different
cookies
day.
or something like that, something festive,
yeah,
then sure. But not just I gotta go to the store.
Right.
I'm not
driving to Marshall's on December 3rd. You're not throwing on Jingle Bells.
No, I'm good on that.
All right, we're gonna do my top 5 Christmas songs here.
Number
Number 5, Jingle Bells. The Frank Sinatra version.
Oh, there
Not
we
just
go.
your normal jingles. It's the I love those Jingl. Oh, it's
yeah.
brilliant. Anything by Frank Sinatra Christmas entered
Legend.
here, but Jingle Bells
Frank Sinatra.
coming in at number 5. Number 4 doesn't really count as a Christmas song. Who's to say? But it's an elf, so now it's associated with Christmas. Pennies from Heaven.
Oh.
You know, and every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Dude, I listen to that song, you're just smiling.
Every
I
time.
want to start eating gum off the subway like Buddy the Elf. I can't help myself. I'm just smiling. Baseball season with a good submission, by the way. Last Christmas is a good one. I believe that's Wham.
That's my number 1. I kind of skipped in my 1.
Number 3, Father Christmas by the Kinks. Underrated song. Father Christmas, give us some money. I like the unconventional songs. They're talking about beating up Santa or something like that if he doesn't give them money. Number 2, now this one had a real leap for me this year. I heard it. What Christmas Means to Me by Stevie Wonder. Do you know that? It's the candles burning low, lots of mistletoe.
Yes.
Dude, that's you can take your little drummer boys and shove it. All right, 1950 call that said we need some new songs. And now I know Stevie Wonder's an older song, but I can't handle these slow silent night. Come on, man. Give me some What Christmas Means to Me. And Big Dog says, Rip George Michael. That's true. John Lennon, that's in my top 10. Merry Christmas, War is Over. And number 1, Santa Claus is Coming to Town by
baby.
Bruce Springsteen.
Have to
That song rocks, man. I can listen to that song 4 times on repeat. You knew the whole beginning. Has everyone out there been good? Oh, that's not many. Oh, it's so good, dude. I love Santa Claus is Coming to Town by
That's
Bruce
a classic.
Springsteen. What do you got, Matty Ice? Any top
Last
Christmas songs for you?
I'll give you my top 2. I got Last Christmas.
Okay.
And then I want to say it's not Silver Bells. The Carol of the Bells. Yeah. It just gets you hyped. It just really does. It gets you going.
The Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yes.
Dum,
Exactly.
dum. Yeah, that one gets me pumped up, man.
Yeah, it gets
Christmas Day on Netflix.
Bring the
Christmas
eggnog.
Chiefs are going to be
That's what
coming
I'm
out of the
saying.
tunnel.
Exactly.
Carol of the Bells. Mike, you got any ones real quick? Put you on the spot. Top one? Jingle Bells? It's a classic.
There you go.
You got to go with the classic. I do like some Jingle Bells, Frank Sinatra version as well. All right, Matty Ice, that's going to do it for us. Fun show, man.
Good time. It's always fun, man.
I'm feeling the Christmas spirit right now.
Here.
What do we got today, Matty Ice? What's the preview today? What are we ripping?
We're going to be running some dollar auctions to do a little Bowman draft again.
Baby.
So make sure you guys are sticking around for that. Again, it's going to be a lot of fun. We pulled some heat. Yesterday, hit a Bazana on a final draft.
Really?
That was
There we
nasty
go.
on a super short print. So if you guys are interested in that, again, rock and roll with us. It's going to be Big Dog and I today.
Oh, let's go. I know Big Dog was in the building
Big
today.
Dog in the building.
Who better? Guys, one last reminder as well. Every break that fills from today, and any shift that's live on Christmas Eve, $100 we will donate to Toys for Tots, and we will donate $50 for to Toys for Tots for any personal purchase you guys make. We are already right under $4,000 donated. Thank you guys for helping us out with that.
Appreciate you guys.
And let's stop. Why stop it now? We're gonna keep that thing rocking and rolling.
Keep the momentum going, chat.
So guys, appreciate it. I will not see you. I don't think we're gonna be back on the air until.
I won't be back till Saturday.
I can't remember.
I'll be back Saturday.
Talkin Slab is gonna be off for a couple days here. I know Christmas Eve and Christmas. I think it's gonna be back the 26th. I will not be back until Monday. I'm gonna be ripping. I'm gonna be on the cards on Saturday, baby. But until then, guys, thank you guys so much for joining us.
I'll see you guys
in
in
a
a little
very fun 2 months. We see Matty Ice here. Guys, have a great Christmas. Happy Hanukkah from here, us at Suncoast Sports. See ya.